Hello again, it's Jonathan here. A bit more on the Hellingley Hospital railway diorama that I'm building. Last time I left you, I just popped the vaccine in, but I hadn't fixed it in place, so that'll be the first job today. Will be to glue it in place. I've put some little strips in to retain it at the bottom. Old rocket stick from November the 5th last year, and they're in place, ready just for me to drop a bit of PVA in and clamp it in place, and then I'll put some stiffeners at the top. So that's the next job. That'll be quite quick for you, a bit longer for me. Well, that's got it done, but the moral of that story is prepare a bit more before you do it. The times when I wasn't showing, I was around the other side putting pins in to hold it in place against the rocket sticks. Still, we learn by experience. The next thing will be to start getting some of the scenery down inside. In the meantime, I'll show you a bit of the loco pushing something through. Okay, so just a quick trip up the line. As I said, the loco always pushed the train up towards the hospital. There we go. As I haven't got any couplings on the loco at the moment, it's going to have to return light engine. So here we go. Now we've got the vaccine fixed in place, I've got these pieces of cardboard, leftovers from when we moved. The packing cases come in useful. We kept some of them back, a lot we passed on to other folks who were moving, but we kept some back, and I've cut them up to make these shaped pieces. So if we get the PVA and I might need a bigger brush for this, but we just get plenty of gloop along here. Like so. Put it on nice and thick because it's corrugated cardboard, so some of the corrugations will take some of the glue out, but if it's a reasonably thick layer now, that's going to stick in place. And whoops, there we go. Let's just check. I could do with a bit more along there, I think. Let's put a couple of splodges in the middle of these wider bits. There we go. And we pop that in there like that. Press it down in. That's the first of 4 layers. Still got my pin there from when I pinned it in place. So we'll go on with some more, and I'll do that a bit quicker though. So that's got some tiers rising up there at the back. I'm now going to put a cover over that to form the ground layer, which will then have scenic treatment afterwards. So a nice thick splodge of glue again. I'll put some bits in the middle as well, because it's not got an easy flat surface to stick to, so it's got to have as many key points as we can go. I may need to pin it down a bit as well, but we'll go with weights to start with. So we'll pop that over into there. Let's just get that round like that, and then some nice heavy weights. To get it all stuck down. There we are, I think that's got it in place, so we've got to leave that for a little while now to go off. And in the meantime, I will make a start on the front across here, which I've got some extra and other pieces, but that's going to be quite a long job, so we'll do that a bit quicker. So there we are, that's all put in place and glued down. I've got to let it all harden off now before I apply the scenic treatment on top. Right, well, we've got the back scene in. There's just a couple more bits related to it, and that's these two little bits of card, one of which goes in behind this piece to provide a back scene, so that when the train goes out through the hole in the sky, it still has a little bit of backing there, rather than seeing the fiddle yard. And similarly on this side, only I've realised that this one is a little too tall, so we just need to do a line across, and then just with a steel straight edge and good old craft nut, utility knife, a few cuts, there we go, and now that just fits in there nicely. So we want a little bit more glue, so let's just pop a bit more in the I'm having to do it because the top fell off and it won't squeeze out properly. There we go. And glue that up. Pop it in place. And then I've got some bulldog clips here, so I'll clamp that up like that. There we go, and that pops in there. And got another couple of bulldog clips here. I'll put on, clamp that in place. That will all stick in there nicely. So that's that little bit done. I've taken all the temporary supports out of the way, and as you can see, it's worked pretty well. Just a little bit there that's got a dip in it, and that's more than the Sussex roads normally have a dip in, so I think we'll have to fill that later on. So the next bit is a couple of bits of roadway there and there to do. We get the paintbrush and the glue. Right, that says rear park road, so that's that one there. And that one will go in there. Oh, it's got to have a little filler bit just to fill the cess up. Just there. pop that in like that. And we'll do the same again this side, which is new road. Oh, and the cess, a little bit for the cess as well. Let's just get that glued down. There we go. Pop that in there. And there we go. So that'll want weighting down again, and then we'll do the little bit for the where the road actually crosses the track, which will have to be some mounting card, I think. I'll go and find some weights first to weight that down. As you can see, I've got some weights on those bits that I just stuck down to hold them in place till the glue's dried. And I'm now going to do this little bit in here where the road crosses the railway, and let's get on with that. So what I'm going to do is use a felt tip, run it along both sides of the rail, and then quickly lay that on there, which then gives an imprint of the tracks, so I can cut just inside that for the top piece of card, which will be level with the rail, and then a little bit further in that so it goes in between the chairs on the track there. So I used a 24-inch track setter template to or curve to set out that curve where the two bits of level crossing are. So I'm going to lay it on top of here to draw a pencil line just inside, ready for cutting. So we go over to the cutting mat and that then gives me a guide for using the cutting knife, which I haven't got with me, so I'm going to have to go and get that. So I'll do it freehand and hope that it works. There we go, very gently, and several more passes because it's quite a thick card. Managed to get this piece of card in before the lockdown started at our local picture framing place. Let's just snap that off, and then we do the same again this end. I need to go right the way through to get that off. There we are. Then a quick measure on the track. The angle of the road. There we go. Back to the cutting, and then we just cut that across. So there we have it, one piece, because the road goes across the track at an angle, so that's all ready. So now I'm going to do a second piece, which I won't bore you with. which is going to be slightly narrower, which will fit underneath and then will fit between the chairs on the track, and then hopefully the train will go through. And of course I've got to duplicate this for the other road. So I've got 4 bits of card now cut out, 2 narrower, 2 wider, and we'll now glue them in place. So I use a different sort of glue this time. Right, so that's New Road lower piece, that's the upper, Park Road lower and upper. So let's get a string of glue along the bottom there, pop him in there, and the same for the on this side. Let's get that lined up properly. There we go. And then we will pop that in there, trying to get the gaps equal so that the wheels will go through. And we'll do the same for this one. And then we're going to run a wagon through just to make sure that the clearances are okay. Now I'm having to use this one rather than the brake van simply because Hornby fitted moulded axles and wheels, and I don't think you can adjust the back-to-back gauge, whereas this one I've just adjusted it using my gauge there to check the back-to-back. So we now pop it on the track and run it through, and it runs through nicely. So we can let that glue harden now and come back later and go on to the next stage, which I think will be the scenery.